Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to another Cinema Showdown Sunday. And today it is going to be Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel. We are pitting the movies against each other, not the characters. So let's hop right into it. The first round is going to be the action. Now, while both of these films are filled with fantastic action and beautiful visuals, we can only deem one the winner for this round, so let's compare them. Captain Marvel is flashy, for sure, super CGI heavy, as a lot of it is set up in the cosmos. When she's all glowing and her eyes are glowing, she's blowing up spaceships flying through space. It's really cool, I gotta be honest, and I was super thoroughly entertained by everything that was happening on screen. Wonder Woman, however, is far more grounded, where it takes place during World War I, still very visual heavy and still super spectacular to look at. While it's very hard to compare them because you're going with 1918 versus outer space combat, what really gave me the edge in this one is one of my favorite action sequences in superhero films, and that is Wonder Woman's No Man's Land sequence. It really does get the adrenaline pumping, so I'm going to be giving round one for action to Wonder Woman. Round two is going to be the villains. Now, if you do recall, in my reviews for both of these movies, which are spoiler-free and you should definitely check out, I did give a negative to both of these movies for their lack of villains. With the Wonder Woman side, you have Ludendorff, Ares, and Dr. Poison. Compared to Captain Marvel, you have Talos. Now, for me, Wonder Woman's, they're way too comical. Ludendorff and Dr. Poison, they come off as like really cheap, poorly written, like 60s cartoon villains. They're paper thin. And then Ares is only there for the last final fight, and he's just this, another CGI giant villain. And the rest of the German army, well, they're just typical bad guys. Switch over to Captain Marvel, and Talos is played by Ben Mendelsohn, who does a fantastic job. Even though I didn't think he was a great villain, I did thoroughly enjoy his performance. And then the rest of the Skrulls, well, I mean, they're shapeshifters. They're super cool. So although the main villains on both flicks aren't that great, the Skrulls get it because they're shapeshifters, and that's freaking awesome. So round two goes to Captain Marvel. Round three is going to be the twists. Spoiler alert for both Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel. I know Captain Marvel is new, so if you have not seen it yet and you don't want to get it spoiled, just be sure to skip to the end of this round. Something these two films have in common is that they have a major twist, either, in the second half of the movie, we'll say, that really does shift things from a villain's perspective. Wonder Woman, you find out the entire time that David Thewlis, okay, Lupin from Harry Potter, ends up being Ares all along, and he was a major player on the Allies' side during the war, so he's working with Chris Pine and essentially Wonder Woman throughout the majority of the movie, and then at the very end, Ares does end up being real, and he ends up being Ares. Ergo, the final fight. Switch to Captain Marvel, you find out that Jude Law's Yon-Rogg is actually the one that is the bad guy. They're hunting down and killing the Skrulls. It isn't a war, it's an extermination, and that he is the one that wiped away Carol's memory, took her to his home planet, pumped her full of his blood. Yeah, it's as weird as it sounds. And that the Skrulls aren't actually the bad guys. Of course, I feel this one is a lot more personal, whereas Wonder Woman, they just kind of known by association, whereas Captain Marvel, this was her mentor for years. Everything she knows, everything that she's learned has come from him, and he's just fed her this bullshit for years and years and years. So aside from the more personal side that Captain Marvel boasts, I would say that it also takes it for the fact that Wonder Woman, it just kind of comes at the end and then sets up the final fight, whereas Captain Marvel comes probably halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through, and shifts the whole rest of the movie. Round three is going to go to Captain Marvel. Round four is going to be their sidekicks. Captain Marvel has Nick Fury, Samuel L. Jackson with two eyes. You have Jude Law's Yon-Rogg and his allies as well, and then you have other allies from Earth like Maria Rambeau and her daughter Monica. They all have this real chemistry, they have these vibes that they've known each other for a while, and they play up these characters and their connections very well. But then you switch over to Wonder Woman's side and you have Chris Pine, who is just great in this movie. He is neck and neck with Gal Gadot in my mind, and then you also have Charlie, Samir, the Chief, Antiope, and Etta. And once again, they have the exact same thing. They all have these real, genuine connections and this undeniable chemistry. I feel that Wonder Woman has a much more diverse and memorable supporting cast. I'm gonna have to give it to Wonder Woman because they all have these varying personalities and they contribute to the team in different ways. So round four is going to go to Wonder Woman. On to the fifth and final round with a 2-2 score, and it is going to be the plot. So which plot stands the tallest? Well, Wonder Woman, it seems a bit goofy. She lives on a hidden island, finds a dude, and then she leaves the island for the first time. She doesn't understand what she's doing in Europe or in the war. She's just has her heart set on finding and killing Ares because apparently this is all her fault and everyone just thinks she's delusional. So yes, it does sound goofy, but the journey that it takes you on is one that is filled with heart, and it has a great message about finding out who you are and discovering your destiny. While Captain Marvel has a fantastic story on paper, and in execution for this movie, well, the odd storytelling techniques and the pacing issues really do bog it down. And although Wonder Woman's does seem a bit goofier in the final fight, pretty much the whole third act really isn't really that great, it does still have that very heartfelt story and an incredible journey that it takes you on throughout the whole time. So, with all that being said, guys, the fifth and final round and the crown is going to go to Wonder Woman. So if you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know, who do you think should have won this fight, and be sure to suggest what you would like to see for the next Cinema Showdown Sunday. Be sure to check me out on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links will be in the description and at the end of the video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. We are going to be doing two of Ridley Scott's two best facing off against one another.